Welcome, everyone. This is Keep Punching University. Jim Gonsel. I'm very happy to be hosting this evening. We've got a very special guest, Ms. Shelly Mackey. I want to introduce her in a minute, but I want to share with you that each of us are on here courtesy of Kerry and Mickey Daigle. I've been involved in the company for 34 years. Kerry and Mickey have been sharing a phone call originally and now a Zoom using technology to really impact people all around the world. We've got people on from all parts of the country, even Canada. We really appreciate each of you being on Monday night. It happens at 6 p.m. Central Time. We invite all of you to join us each week and get your team on here with us, with you to learn more about what you can do to impact health all around the country and really all around the world. We're in 26 countries. Very happy to have Ms. Shelly Mackey on with us this evening. Shelly and I met, I guess, about a year and a half, 2 years ago in Atlanta. And she and her husband, Mark, were headed to the 39 Club dinner, and we got to spend a few minutes with them. And I tell you, she is a ball of fire. You'll see more about that in a few minutes. Shelly actually started sharing the inspiring health around the world in 2013. Listen to this. In 1 year, she made the top level in our company, National Marketing Director. That was in 2014. And think about this, those of you that have built a business, in just 10 months after that, Shelly promoted 2 frontline national marketing directors in 2 different states. What she calls Team JCJP, they reached the 75 club. What does that mean? She helps 75 other people qualify their business. You'll learn more about that if you're just learning about our business. That was her first attendee conference where she attended the Elton Awards. It's a very prestigious award that our company sponsors. And she was awarded the 24 Club Member of the Year. Understand that she had a 75 qualifiers in the business and she got the 24 Club Award. That tells you how fast she grew. She hit 100 Club in record time. And Shelly was nominated for 39 Clubber of the Year in the fall of 2021. And actually in 2021, she was awarded the Resilient Leader at the Eltons. And Shelly, was very, very happy to have you on with us this evening. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it. And appreciate all your time for being here. You know, when Jim was reading those accolades, all I could think about was, it kind of makes me wince a little bit because I'm excited, yes, for my team, because it was my team. Yes, I was doing the work and I'm going to tell you how I did that, but it's all about team. It's always about helping others reach their goals. So I hope you get, if nothing else out of this call tonight, you understand that.
Shelly, I've shared more about your Juice Plus accomplishments. As you said, the team is really what you focus on. Share more about your background.
Absolutely. Well, good evening, everyone. And I'm so excited to be here. I'm actually in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, visiting my daughter. That's what I love about this business. I was able to say yes on Friday morning to a flight down here. And I said, oh my gosh, I got a call Monday night. I got a call Tuesday night, but what the heck? Yes, I'll go. I can do it from your backyard. So that's this glorious backyard I'm at. So that's another perk about this incredible business that I call ministry. I'll explain that later. But I received my elementary education degree from Kansas State University, where I met my husband, Mark, 35 years. We've been together. We have 4 amazing adult children, 3 incredible son-in-laws in the last 2 years. I have 1 perfect Juice Plus grandbaby. Woohoo! And my extensive resume, I always laugh about that, was being a short order cook for young picky eaters. I know many of you can relate to that. I was a voluntary fool for our church and school. I volunteered constantly for years. I was a 3rd grade teacher by trade. I always say that was back in the 1800s because it was so long ago, y'all. And I basically founded Schuber. You'll know tonight, I like to smush words, but I basically founded Schuber 14 years before Uber. You know what I did with that, don't you, Jim? The Shelly and the Uber. And by the way, I think I'm funny. I think I make myself laugh all the time. So,
You are.
Oh gosh, you don't have to be, perfect to do this business. You get to have fun while you're doing it.
I know we'll talk a little bit later about your family and how the business has impacted them, but tell us, how did you first learn about Juice Plus and why did you choose it for your family?
Okay, well, I was literally stalked. I know many of you have been stalked, and if you haven't, you're probably going to become a stalker. But I gave this nurse at church my credit card just so she'd leave me alone. And unfortunately, that's exactly what she did. I didn't really even understand what she'd sent me. I never mentioned her by name because I would never want to be disrespectful to her. But I tell this to you because that's what I call an order taker. And I never want any of us that are on this call tonight to be an order taker. We want you to take care of people, to treat them the way you want to be treated. So I canceled my order. I put it in the pantry and I closed the door. I wasn't even certain what it was. I knew she said something that it was better than a vitamin because I didn't believe in multivitamins, but obviously I didn't know it was just food in a capsule. So it sat there for over a year. And then I was in a Bible study. An acquaintance asked me to lunch. And as I was at lunch, she proceeded and proudly stated, I'm a Juice Plus partner. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got that junk in my pantry, right? And she was so sweet. Susan is so much nicer than me. I would have probably followed her home, right? And made sure she started swallowing the capsules. But she educated me right there on the spot about why I should be consuming them. And then, my children and I were not taking, we weren't even eating maybe one, possibly two servings if we were lucky on a given day of fruits and vegetables. But she encouraged me to get to taking them that night when I went home. And what I loved most about that encounter was that I got the feeling she wasn't in it for the sale. She said, consume what's in your pantry. It's a year old, it's fine, right? And when you get low on it, call me and we'll place an order for you. And I knew then that it was about, she really cared about me getting truly healthier and not just making a sale. Now, my husband, though, called it snake oil, Jim, for the first 5 years of the children and I consuming the products. And it was because of a thyroid condition, and he had shoulder pains from a college football injury. So he finally decided to take it. And well, let's just say you might want to check out the research later online. It's so easy to find. We have better health for my entire family with me no longer having migraines, spinal stenosis from a college cheerleading accident. I have zero pain, y'all. I used to get shots in my back. I forgot about that part of my story because I forgot I even have it. And then my kids had, 3 of our 4 kids had allergies and asthma. I mean, this was a game changer and it was life-changing for my family.
It's really awesome to hear, Shelly. And of course, that's your own experience. We want everybody to know we don't make any claims. Shelly mentioned, very importantly, all the research behind Juice Plus. Spend some time. If there's a particular area, our company categorizes it in different areas of impact that we've proven through research. So go check that out. Shelly, when did you choose to partner with the company and why?
Well, when I finally placed my order with Susan, I told her right off the bat, I'll never sell Juice Plus, but I want to get it at the best price. So how do I get a discount? And she said, well, no one gets a discount. Everybody gets it for the same price. And I said, well, that's dumb. Why would you be incentivized to become a partner? And she said, oh, because if you become a partner, you get paid back on your own family's orders. Ding, ding, ding. Anybody that's smart with money knows everybody wants to get the best price, right? So, and again, no discounts. We just get paid back on our own orders. So I signed up right away. And Susan invited me to events for years, you all, years. I made up the dumbest excuses. I would roll my eyes. I would avoid it. That's back when you had caller ID. And I'd be like, no, don't answer the phone. It's the Juice Plus lady, right? Like I loved Juice Plus. I loved what it did for us, but I didn't want anything to do with this business because I had been in another network marketing company when I was in my 20s. I had a very unpleasant experience. And so I made an agreement with myself that I would never do something like that again. But if you fast forward to age 52, 11 years ago, I was on a mission to figure out why my dad died an early death from colon cancer at just age 57. I was 52 at the time. I wanted to avoid an early death. I wanted to see my kids get married. My dad didn't get to walk me down the aisle, never met my awesome kids, didn't get to see my grandbaby, and I wanted more for myself. And so Susan, though, was paying attention to what was going on in my life because she was periodically checking in with me. Even though every time I would be like, Susan, I'm not selling Juice Plus. I don't want to come to one of your events. And she kept saying, Shelly, it's just for education. I want you to be educated. But because I'd kind of been tricked in that other company, I thought she was just tricking me coming to an event like this, right? You know, a health event. But finally, she calls me and she said, I know you've been on a journey. There's a holistic public health nurse coming to Kansas City from California named Stacy Joy. And I believe you should come listen to her. It's really going to make sense to you. Ding, ding, ding. Do y'all hear that? She was paying attention. Susan wouldn't have known that if she hadn't been checking in with me periodically, even though I was a hard no about coming to all these events. Think how many people you've invited to events and they just blow you off, right? Or have silly excuses. That was me. That was me. So I ended up going. It's crazy story. I got to go to a conference. And when I learned about the research, holy shnikes. And Dr. Sears was on stage, and I was like, whoa, the famous pediatrician is part of this. What are you kidding? I came back, y'all, and all I had from that starter kit was a CD. And I took my 13-inch TV that had a built-in DVD player, and I took it everywhere with that CD because I let the experts talk for me, right? Bridging the gap. I didn't know what shnikes I was talking about. I just knew that it worked, right? And so, word of advice, never give up on people that you believe could make a difference in the world. Never.
Good story, Shelley. What a story. Everybody, take note. You never know what she said. Susan kept listening for what Shelley was interested in, right? Shelley, with your experience as a wife, a mom, a teacher, what was it like for you to become an entrepreneur?
Well, I certainly wasn't a businesswoman. My husband is a businessman, and he's a really sharp businessman, but that wasn't my forte. I know how to love people, and I was a really good mama, and he was really good at raising finances, and I raised the kids. But when I heard Jay Martin, the founder of this company of 54 years, say at my very first conference that we didn't need to be the expert because we had the research that I referred to earlier, just go get a buddy. It's so much more fun. Y'all, I'm a sanguine. If you know about the 4 temperaments God gave you, I'm a sanguine, and I loved a buddy. I mean, he was speaking my language. I didn't need to be an expert. I was not an expert. I'm still not an expert. I do know a lot more now because of this company, because they love to educate us. But I simply just use the skills that I gained from all my past experiences to serve others. And that's what God does. I think he gives us God-given skills, but I also think that we learn each thing that we do, whether you're a volunteer or whether you're working in the workplace. I truly love to help others, even if I don't make a dime. It's so important to me. And I think mindset matters. I didn't even know what that meant, but I was already there. I 100% believe that everyone that I ever came in contact with needed this product. And I was so excited for them to learn more because then they would go out and be excited, right? And I had such a positive attitude, because how could you not have a positive attitude around these people and what you're learning and how you feel? I mean, I get up every day. I'm 63 and I feel amazing. I have so much energy. Please, God, let me continue that. I consistently reached out to people. Now I know it's called your daily method of operation. I didn't know that. To me, it just meant I got to talk to my friends and people that were currently my friends, and many from my past, from, maybe school, high school, college, my kids' soccer teams. We were no longer playing that sport. We were on to another sport. Anybody that God would place on my mind each morning, because every morning I start my morning with prayer, and I would ask God, please, I didn't even know the prayer of Jabez at that time. I do now, and we pray it every morning on my team. But I used to just say to God, use me today. I don't know how you want to use me, but just use me, you know? I had a big story of hope about my family. You just heard all those things I told you, right? And I was going to tell it to anybody who'd even listen, and probably people that didn't even want to listen. I told them anyway. I practiced on so many people. People on my team would say, gosh, did everybody say yes to you? And I'm like, heck no. I've talked to people. You all have probably signed up. Like, I don't know. I probably said something wrong that day, right? Zig Ziglar, I think he says that you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. So I probably didn't say it right, or I didn't say it right to the right person, but who cares? I evidently, a lot of people were listening. So I just felt obligated to help others learn what I had learned. And also, as Susan always reminds me, the timing was right. Like my life had opened up, right? I had always been busy volunteering and raising children. And after most of our children went to college, I could have just stayed busy. I mean, I'm not trying to put my judgment on you, but being self-serving, because for 30 days, I kind of did that. I was doing yoga every day. I was going to lunch with my girlfriend. And then I was running out of friends that were working outside the home. Okay. And it got kind of boring. And sharing Juice Plus was serving others. I was getting to do it all in one thing. I got to be with my friends, make new friends, and do something purposeful. And I love that I'm living a purpose-driven life. And I'm a woman of faith. And so, Jesus fed people before he taught them. If you think about that, when you go back through scripture, and I feel that's kind of what we do. We're feeding people and doing the same thing at the same time. But I took a few people to my second conference, and y'all, I came back so determined. I was like, I'm getting the NMD faster than anything. I mean, I'm going to get there so fast. One, because I'm competitive with myself. I'm not competitive with others. I'm competitive with me. But a second reason is because it meant that I was going, if I get to NMD, that means we brought up hundreds and thousands of people, right? With us having better health. And no one was going to stop that. No one was going to stop me. Not even my negative, worried about me and our reputation kind of husband. Heck, even my kids at one point, you guys, this is true story. My kids at one point thought I possibly needed an intervention. They thought that, Mom, all you're doing is eat, sleep, drinking, Jesus and Juice Plus. Like, seriously, we're worried. And honestly, I couldn't believe I would just laugh at everybody in my family, because I couldn't believe that I was getting paid to help people, and I was having the time of my life. Like, I don't know if you've ever volunteered, but people are complainers. They're like, why'd you pick that food for the, funeral dinner? Why'd you choose that drapes for the, new renovation of the school? People are, they're complainers, but in this business, nobody was complaining. I was having a blast and getting paid. So sorry, that's probably more than you wanted.
That's all right. Look, it's your energy that communicates. How about it, folks? Raise your hand if you're impacted by Shelly's energy. Look at them. Two hands. Shelly, I'm sure in those 10 years, I'll ask you a couple of pointed questions here. One pointed question. I'm sure you've heard some challenges about network marketing. How have you responded to that?
Well, when someone comes at you with something negative, typically they're nervous or they've had a bad experience, whatever it is, right? And people would say to me constantly, is that one of those? And then they kind of trail off, right? And I would just jump right out in front of them and go like this. Oh, a pyramid company? I do this with my hands. And they would be like, well, it's, one of those, and I'm like, no, those are illegal, first of all. And that's really more like my husband, because my husband is the CEO of a company. So he's corporate America, which is like a pyramid. And then they're like, whoa, I can't believe she's saying that about her husband, because most of the time they knew me, right? And I said, so see, my husband's up here, and then he's got VPs, and then general managers, and then sales managers, and then the clients, right? And so only one person, when my husband retires, is ever going to be at the top. Now, you can use this in lots of different situations. If your husband's not the head of a company, you can talk about any corporate company, right? But he is at the top of it. And I said, the beautiful thing about what we do is that it's an inverted pyramid. So everybody pays their $52 a year and everybody starts at the bottom, but everybody can get to the top. Everybody. And then some people would say, yeah, but you're just making all that money for the person above you. And I said, and rightly so, she should get to make money. Bless her heart, she bugged me for years. She was relentless, right? But she knew what she believed. But here's the situation. My sponsor, I blew past her in this company, blew past her. I was on a different track than she was, and I wanted something different than she did. So I make way more money than my sponsor does. And not to sell her out, but to let people know that that is a fallacy, that only the people at the top make the most money. Okay. And then one last thing about that is that Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote that he's very famous author in the business world, and he wrote the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, and my husband loved that book. Now, my husband was not keen about network marketing in the beginning, right? So when I told my husband, honey, did you know Robert Kiyosaki is a Juice Plus customer, and he also wrote a book about network marketing? And he was like, wait, what? And I said, yes, because he believes that people should have diverse income streams. And he knew the tax advantages of having a network marketing home-based business. So that took everything off the table for my husband. No more skepticism. And that's kind of where we went from there.
Yeah, Mark looked pretty excited when I saw him in Atlanta when you guys were going to the Eltons. He's looking around at all these people and thinking, wow, this thing is real, right?
Very real.
Ellie, one very positive note. I see Mr. Daig along with us. I've been almost pestering Kerry to do a training on network marketing. He's
Yes.
agreed to do a series of 3 different trainings. Originally, he was going to limit it to 50 people. But on our mastermind this morning, I put him on the spot, and he said he's going to open it up to all the Juice Plus community. So pay attention. You guys know Kerry's a master. He studied the industry for 34 years, and he knows a lot of things you talked about, Shelly, and how to shine that. So, Mr. Daigle, thank you for agreeing to that. It's going to be awesome to hear that.
Amen.
Shelly, the last few years have really allowed us to, what I'll call, appreciate the things that we think are important. How does Juice Plus in our business fit into that?
Well, I call this ministry a gift. And I told you earlier, I like to smush words together. This is a business. That's why I use the word ministry. It starts with a B. So I smushed business and ministry together because it does start with a B. It is a business. We can say we share Juice Plus. We don't want to be salespeople. We want to be shares people. But at the end of the day, a credit card goes in the system. The company ships product to our customer or our partner, and it's a business transaction. But the biggest part of that word ministry is ministry. And that is what this is. Our company calls it a mission, but I call it a ministry because I am literally a hope dealer. And I know each of you are too. No matter if you sharing hope on a small scale or a large scale, you're giving hope to the world. And it's 3 gifts of hope. From the beginning, I saw it. I saw this. It's a gift of better health. It's a gift of better finances. It's a gift of community. We call it a Juice Plus family. And when my mama, I had a single mama of 5 of our, my mom's 5 kids. And my mom and I, she was my person. And when she passed away in 2019, at age 88, my world was rocked. She was my person. But God knew that I was going to need a family of choice, the Juice Plus family. And that is what has kept me going besides my own, Mark and Shelly Mackey family. It's incredible. It's just incredible what the gift that we have to offer people.
It really is a gift, Shelley, and thank you for seeing that and really pointing it out to people, because I think it's important at this time, the things we've been through the last few years, to really understand that. And it's great you shared that, because that's really what we're all about. You have created what I call a foundational strategy that a lot of people have adopted. It's called the Wheel of Success. Would you share about that?
Sure. The Wheel of Success is just, I mean, it's a simple, duplicatable system to help people get paid back on their own monthly orders. Does that sound familiar? That's what I wanted, right? That's all I cared about. Period. In discussion. That's what this is. It's not to get to NMD. It's not to be insanely successful. It was just that I wanted to help people get paid back on their own family orders, so that if someone lost their job in the family, that, or you were a single parent, that you could afford Juice Plus because you had a check coming in every month. So you know the golden rule: do unto others as you want to be done under to you, right? So I believe that everybody deserves their $100, and my team feels the exact same way. So what we do is, we felt like the best thing for our customers was not just me calling them every 4 months or 3 months and asking if they were ready for their next shipment, but also to actually help them pay for their own orders. So, because we want everyone to live the Shred 10 lifestyle. How many times have you heard people say, "Oh, I'll just start off with the capsules this time, and I'll get the shakes next time." And I'm like, "Wait, don't you eat breakfast? Like, what are you going to eat for breakfast? There's nothing better than a complete. Like, it should be on every breakfast table in America. That should be every single person." Oh, I know. I love it when you did that. I don't know your name, but you're too cute. Yes, it needs to be on every. So why would we act sheepish about it? Right. And so then immediately you think, "Oh, I'll help them pay for it." So you say $52 a year, you get paid back on your own orders. And if you share it with a couple of other people, you're going to get enough money back to help offset the cost of your product. So the first thing is the family's order, right? My order, my essentials, my husband's, and some shakes. That's what every family should have, at least that much. Well, if you do that in the first 10 days, you get $100. You go to a 5% commission. But the biggest thing is that you help 3 buddies do the same thing. And where I came up with that was, my husband was telling me in the beginning, "Now let's don't share it with a lot of people, okay?" Remember, he was all worried about the image. And I said, "Well, then you should stop taking it." "Well, I can't stop taking it." I said, "Okay, well, let's don't tell very many people about it." And I was like, "Mark, we say that we love and care about our closest friends and family. So then why in the shnikes would we not be telling him about it?" This is crazy talk, right? So by the way, I'm not throwing him under the bus. He loves Juice Plus now. He always tells me, "Go juice him up, mom." You know, like, he's all excited about it. But I have to tell this because I guarantee you, some of you or some of your friends' family feels the same way, right? So the whole concept is that a 3rd grader, which is where the concept came from, is when I taught school, I taught in 3s. So this was just easy. 3 orders, which is my order, my husband's order, and our shake order, 3 people, and then help them share it with people. It's so simple. And it's also, something that it's readily available at your fingertips.
Shelley, I know everybody's wondering, where can they learn more about it? I'm going to post a link in the chat. And while I'm doing that, I'd like for you to share the story you shared with me about how this helped to create the boards for Wendy Campbell. How about you do?
Okay. Well, a few years ago, I was on a call, actually, a Zoom. I was doing a friendly call with Doctors of Pharmacy, Chris and Casey Schloss. And Chris had decided to come into the business, and alongside his wife. And he said, "Casey, I love you, darling, but I want to do what Shelly Mackey's doing. So let's get on a Zoom with her." So we got on a Zoom. I love them. We're super close friends. Got on a Zoom, and they were asking me questions. They said, "Can we just pick your brain?" So as they're picking my brain, they kept going, "That's genius. that I was like, you guys, it's embarrassing. Like when I do emojis on my Voxer, I'm telling him all these things. They were like, no, you got to tell Wendy Campbell what you do. And I said, this is embarrassing. There's no way that people want to know this. They're like, yes, they do. So I called up Wendy and I told her about the situation. She said, that's it. You and Julie Herbst are going to put this on Campbell Team website. So that was the plan. But along the way, I heard about boards. Lauren LaHave had heard about it. She told Nicole Scott. Nicole Scott shared it with me. I get on this boards call and I said, oh, my Lanta, we got to do Wheel of Success on the boards. So literally for 2 months, Julie Herbst and I would Zoom almost daily. And she would say, okay, start talking. And she'd just start typing. She literally picked my words apart. She's a journalism major. And it's all written, it's all typed out on boards, y'all. That's why we created the board for Campbell Team. And then we realized how easy it was. So then now we're using boards instead of the website. I mean, hardly anybody goes to the website anymore. But that board, y'all, it has everything I said. It's got a video in there that I did for the company. It's 18 minutes long. There's a shorter one, like 12 minutes long. It's not rocket science, you guys. I'm not a brain surgeon. I'm not a businesswoman, but I care deeply about people. And I wanted everybody to have the same opportunity that my team had. So anyway, that's the
Yeah.
story. Oh, and I want to give a shout out real quick
Yeah.
to Wendy McGlon and Katie Suter. Wendy McGlon is an international marketing director with the Juice Plus company, and Katie Suter is Wendy Campbell's daughter. They keep up the board and is currently daily. They are modifying that board so that all of us in the Juice Plus world, doesn't matter if you're on Campbell Team or not, we all have access to it. And it's brilliance. You don't need to reinvent that wheel either. Just use that board, right? Anyway, I just want to give a shout out.
Yeah, I'm glad you did that because people that are looking at our business, the question I'll ask in a minute, they can enjoy the benefits and work of other people like you have, Shelly, very generously created that for us to access. I understand this has become a family business for you. How did that happen and how has that benefited your family?
Oh gosh. Well, it wasn't on purpose, but everybody in my family, praise God, all 10 of them, they all take Juice Plus. They consume Juice Plus daily, prayerfully. Kids sometimes when they're in college, you're like, oh Lord, I hope you're taking it. But two of our daughters have qualified businesses. So what that means to you, if you're new, is that you're basically making enough to pay for their own products, which is wonderful, right? No real interest in building it. They kind of look at this like, oh, well, that's mom's deal. We love it for mom. We're proud of her. They think I'm just turned into a boss babe. They're hilarious. They're my biggest fans. Love them so much. They're so supportive of me. But they had no interest in building this as a business until recently. Our third daughter, Maggie, had our first grandchild about 6 months ago. And it's a Juice Plus grandbaby. If you don't know what that means, it means that she chose not to use a isolated vitamin, fragmented vitamin supplement. She chose to use Juice Plus as her prenatal for Ford, our baby grandson. And Maggie left her very, very successful corporate job as a network planner of supply chain for a large medical device company to stay home and raise her baby. She and her husband, Ray, both live they live the Shred 10 lifestyle. Let me just tell you that, on plant steroids. They're just so healthy. And it made sense for her to take a closer look at Juice Plus as a side hustle. But honestly, you guys, she didn't say anything to me about it, but they were already talking about it, the tax advantages of having their own business for $52 a year to offset their taxes. And she learned recently a lot. And Jim did a 5-lesson study that was on taxes. And it's amazing. And I hope you offer that again, Jim. But at the end of, I didn't know she was planning on coming to Juice Plus Live in Phoenix with me. My kids only come if I'm speaking on stage to support me. But she wanted to come with me, I thought, to get some extra sun, right, with her baby. And she said, oh, no, I'm attending it, but don't get excited about anything, mother. I said, okay. So at the end of conference, I was introducing her to Tanya Oxley. And she tells Tanya Oxley before she even told me, oh, I'm all in. I'm all in. And my jaw was hanging open. She said, now, at my own pace, not 90 miles an hour like my mom. I'm going at my pace. Maggie is incredibly disciplined. She's an introvert. Obviously, I'm an extrovert. She's very accomplished in the corporate world. I was never in the corporate world. She's a devoted wife, a young mama. And while this might look different for her in her current season of life than mine, Jim, there's no words to describe the feeling that she's now a partner in this life-changing journey with me. I mean, I can't believe it.
That's awesome to hear, Shelly. And I know we could see the sun going down on your location in Florida. Your other daughter's also involved with you, right?
She is. She has a qualified business. She's the daughter. I'm at her house. And I'm just waiting. I'm thinking Maggie's leading the way. You know, maybe they'll all join me eventually.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? So Shelly, as a successful wife, mom, and now entrepreneur, what success tips can you offer anyone who wants to build a successful Juice Plus business?
Well, seasons of life are real, and so are your needs. So I guess I would say, for example, if you're just wanting to pay for your family's product, just have a couple events with the person that signed you up and complete the wheel of success. Okay. That's going to help pay for your family's product every single month. And not just like capsules, but for shakes, capsules, Luminate, you know, everything that we have, our big 6 product line, right? That's a joke. Or maybe you are working 40 hours a week and you're running kids wild, but you desire to create an extra $500 to $1,000 a month steady income. Then you want to help 3 other people complete that wheel. That's sales coordinator, QSSC, or senior sales coordinator, somewhere in there, because you complete 3 wheels with people, and that's going to elevate you to that income level. But maybe you even desire to replace your job with time flexibility and better income possibilities than you currently have, desiring to make several $1,000s a month. I don't know. Maybe you want the benefits package. I don't know. Then you need to help 5 people complete that wheel. And regardless of what you decide, this is so important. You must be intentional about the time that you do decide to devote to your Juice Plus business or ministry. I tell people all the time when they ask me, how did you get there so fast? How much time? I couldn't even believe it. I had to go back and look at my calendar. I spent maybe, I am being generous, maybe 10 to 15 hours every single week, but it was intentional focus, reaching the top of this compensation plan with medical benefits in 1 year. So no matter what your goals are, whether you want, you know, a couple $100, you want 500, you want 1,000, you want, you know, 5,000 and above, I don't know. Just know that you're never alone. You're always going to have us here. You stay focused. You keep your heart right. You stay focused on others. We, the leaders, stay focused on helping you. So you don't have to worry about doing it by yourself.
That's awesome. And in closing, Shelly, what particular suggestions can you offer anybody who's looking at our business, especially at this unique time with our business?
Well, as far as good health is concerned, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, okay, but we have never been sicker in the modern world. In fact, just this morning, Wendy Campbell, who's the smartest RN I've ever known in my life, as well as she's a founder like Carrie Daigle is in this Juice Plus company, she sent the front page of Prevention Magazine this morning on how not to get sick. And guess what people need? Shocker, more fruits, vegetables, and berries, more whole foods. What is that? The Shred 10 lifestyle. You guys, it doesn't have to be this way. People can't do it on their own. They try. I know all of us. I tried. I can't do it on my own. We need these products. People need these products, and people need extra income right now. And they also need the community of hope. They need people like all of us helping each other. Jim's never going to make a dime off me. Carrie's never going to make a dime off me. I'll never make a dime off of you watching, right? But as far as this Juice Plus business goes, I just heard a very successful businessman being interviewed by Carrie Daigle on Saturday. He about the Juice Plus business and the future of it. And he said, get this, in the next 3 to 5 years, Juice Plus will experience huge, huge growth, all driven by data. A $6 trillion industry. That's what health and wellness is by 2025. Shay O'Brien suggested I loved it. Roll up our sleeves and be a part of it. And I was doing this the minute he was talking. I was like, I'm there, buddy. I'm in. I mean, he got me so fired up. But the question is for you, will you be all in? Like, what will it take for you to say, okay, I'm all in. I'm all in 1 hour a week. I'm all in 10 hours a week. What will it be? Okay. And then I'm just going to tell you, I'm all about hashtags. I'm a little bit dorky. My kids laugh at me all the time, but I'll leave you with a few that I'm going to be using in this particular season of my Juice Plus ministry. Hashtag, we all need more fruits and vegetables. Hashtag, roll up your sleeves. Hashtag, huge, huge growth. Hashtag, live well. And my upcoming New Year's one, I think the company should adopt it. Hashtag 2025, best time to be alive. I mean, seriously, there is no better time than now. Despite all the Debbie Downerness of the world, there's a reason that we were all here, perhaps for a time such as this right now. There's a reason for it. I'm so grateful that you had me on. Thank you for your time. Jim, thank you for hosting me, and Carrie and Mickey, you guys and Danny, you're awesome. And please never stop doing these calls. Never.
Shelly, thank you very much. And you said something that really prompted me to really encourage everybody who's listening and watching, whether you're watching live or the recording. You know, in 5 years, I'll make this prediction. You're going to remember this Zoom. Isn't it going to be great when you say, boy, was I glad I was on there and I listened and I applied what Shelly Mackey shared with me, right? Rather than, boy, I sure wish I would have listened. You know, 5 years is coming, whether you like it or not. And our time, as Shelly has so vividly demonstrated tonight, the time is now, folks. We welcome you to our community. We ask you to partner with us. We need help, right? Roll up the sleeves and keep punching. Mr. Daigle, Shelly, thank you very much for being here and sacrificing your time. Please tell your daughters hello for us. And we appreciate you being with us from Florida.
I can't wait to see you in person soon.
Same here. Can you
Good
stop
night, everybody.
recording, Karen?